Hi everybody, today in our history lesson, I want to teach you a new president. It's not quite a president, his name is Patrick Hery. Patrick Hery was 8 years old right now, and as the tale that I told you, 8 years old Patrick Hery went with his fishing rod to the fishing pole. How glad that I don't need to learn at school. That means he didn't like learning at school. He liked learning at home. I'll have more course and more learn things at home. He laughed out loud. Maybe Dad can think about this idea as well. Here, I wish how can I learn at school instead of I wish I can learn at home instead of going too hard at school. He thought I could study more things, but I think it might be impossible because the school might have more things than the house does. Then, in the speaking for Virginia, at this time, Virginia colony was controlled by England. That means that the Virginians have been lost by the Philistines of Virginia. That means they lose the battle. So they're controlled by England. England is really getting a little popular because it's now in the United States. That means people of Virginia had to do what England told them to do. How poor, whatever they agreed or not. In 1769, England's King George III made a law called the Stamp Act. This law forced the important papers. Patrick Hery disagreed with the Stamp Act of Virginia. He gave reason why the colony would make their own laws. Many people agreed with him. For about 10 years, King George III continued to demand the high tax from the Virginia in the colony. In September 1574, the colony met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Patrick Hery was one of the men from Virginia. But as they said, all these men is pictured right here. That they are Virginian. Patrick Hery stood up and said, I'm not a Virginian, but an American. So they declared, it's time for the colony to separate the England. That means we need to fight. And this is a very special thing that I may ask you later on this question. Parts of speech and liberty. Here, his father John Hery has gone to college. Patrick Hery knew how important education was to him. Patrick studied the local school until he was 10 years old at that time. Patrick got his wish. His father decided to teach him home as subject at arithmetic and history. He also learned how to relate in God. Finding the right job. Had you ever had a decision to do right or wrong? I have that, not a lot of as well. We always have a second chance. As a young man, Patrick worked several jobs and finally found the right one. And his brother opened a separate store together. But they did not manage it well later because he chose the store. When Patrick Hery was 18, she married Sarah Sellington. Her father gave him a farm, but the crops failed at their home, was destroyed by fire in 1757. Farming the job was for Patrick. Finally, in 1760, Patrick Hery became a lawyer. Wow. He seemed to understand people, was be able to speak and agree all the causes well by hiking and liking ordinary people is his style. His laws businesses became very successful. Now this is a little thing about. Now some people they need to fight England for their freedom. Others think they don't need to have a war. That means they don't need to have a battle instead of staying at home. A group of men at Stanger Church in Richmond, Virginia on March 23, 1779, Patrick Hery told the men in a meeting what they need to fight. Patrick Hery went on and said, this is the right thing to say. Give me liberty or give me death. Have you ever heard that word? The word liberty means freedom. Give me freedom, and the word death means dead. That means she would rather die than living under rule of that England. That was unfair, right? Patrick Hery was a pirate. So now let's go. Why did Patrick Hery become a lawyer? First question. If you know, raise your hand. This probably comes in every direction you want because he's already good. He's already good. In Patrick Hery's famous speech about freedom, it said, "Give me what or give me what?" Can you think about it? In this said, England, he said, "Give me what?" That's your question. Or give me what? That means a blank and a blank. Do you know that answer? I just read it. It's called give me liberty or give me death. So in that blank, you write the word that. Liberty, you can go back to the time to write it. Patrick Hery was the first government of the United States. That's right word, of course, because he lived in the United. As the governor, whom did Patrick Hery help in the war with England? This is a little hard question. Maybe it's his friends. Well, this will be your on-site teacher checking work. What did Patrick Hery depend to be in the Constitution? This can be a little hard too. It's the word of independence. Now, Patrick Hery countrymen call him to be the... Went back to the book and said, this was the hardest. What am I gonna do? Just here, sorry guys. Okay, so that's the end. Check it if you're right. Thanks for watching today.